Welcome back. The Green Bay Area School District has approved its final budget for the current school year.
And that means it approved potential changes to the tax rate. Most of the funding priorities are consistent with years past, but that could change depending on the outcome of the referendum on the November ballot. The district is asking taxpayers for $183 million to maintain and renovate schools.
Here's how the referendum impacts the tax rate. Under the newly approved budget, the rate will go down 61 cents. That's if the referendum passes. If voters decide not to pass the referendum, the tax rate would drop more than $3 down to $5.32. The board says a significant drop like that could lead to a significant rise if a future referendum is passed. We're checking back in with Steve now over in First.